Yeah,
in that sense.
Something that's I just noticed as well, like I kind of jokingly, but also like there was some truth to it. I was like, yo, there's a lot of Protoss on this bracket. I just realized, so Dream is the only notable Terran. The only notable Zerg is Rex.
I swear I thought I saw Solar, but
Nope.
I guess he didn't check in. Question mark? Yeah, the only big Zerg player we have here is Rex, who honestly, I was like, how am I gonna put this? It's like he's obviously a very notable player. He's been in Junior Green Wings for a while. He was sort of Taiwanese representative, but in recent for a while it was between him and Nice, right? Who was gonna be the player to usurp Haas, who has you know, sort of fallen a little bit out of player, but yeah, ever since Nice cemented his place, I feel like we've heard a lot less from Rex.
We have. He has kind of he fell into obscurity a little bit in 2020, you know, especially since he did, you know, leave Korea, I believe, and he wasn't there in the team house anymore. He wasn't a part of Jin Air anymore, especially since Jin Air isn't a thing. But yeah, like everyone strap yourselves in, because this is our first PvP of the day, and there's going to be many more after this.
Oh boy, this is our punishment, Light. We've been casting a few too many TVZs on
Where's
this channel.
Ryung? I just raised Ryung, please.
He was online earlier. He was online.
He was. Admani, puppy, help us.
Shaking my head. Well, regardless, I'm glad that we are gonna have one of the highest profile PvPs, I think, in this entire bracket. It is going to be here on Lightshade, starting off in the bottom right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. The red Protoss player coming down from Jeju Island, and also Seoul, I believe, is where he resides. He is the Enigma Machine, the madman himself, on that Y-axis, representing Good Game Gaming. GGG! He's patient.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the other South Korean Protoss player, one of many in this bracket. He is, of course, representing Team NV. It is NightMare. What's he gonna throw down?
Already we're getting what we expected. I want to say Dark Shrine. Might be a little bit too early for Twilight Council, but we'll see. We'll see what he gets after the Cyber Core, and that's going to be the main influence. Obviously, a Stargate is fairly popular, but yeah, this also is a little too predictable here for Patience.
I will say that this is a very interesting location, as the Cyber Core is going to finish up shortly, as it isn't the closest by air location that it could be. It is a little bit out of the way, and that does make it a little bit more difficult to scout. And as we can see, it's because it's not a Stargate, it's a robot.
Well, I feel like I haven't seen this in a while. That's a lie. We saw this last week, but you know, from a player who's not patient is what I mean.
I mean,
seen this in a while.
It is still patient.
It is still patient, but you know.
I know. So yeah, this is quite interesting. Obviously, NightMare did go into the main base. He did scout, and he did see that a pylon was missing. So he knows that one is out there on the map. But again, it is very common for players to even just throw pylons out there, just to throw them out there, just to keep their opponent on edge.
Oh, definitely. You have a little bit of psychological edge there. It's also, you know, pretty useful for spotting or scouting even.
Yeah, and NightMare, he's looking. He's got probes here to the south. He's got a probe to the north. He is looking for that proxy, but he just hasn't found it because it's in such a wonky location.
Aha! He's got probes to the north. He's got probes to the south, but you know where he doesn't have them? The middle.
Exactly. None whatsoever. And it's really interesting because you just mentioned this has really fallen out of fashion, like especially because of just the shield battery in general and the overcharge. Like it's so much more difficult to just end it with Immortals, but not in Patience mind.
Patience, he's still living out those glory days. Actually gonna reveal his hand a little early here. I do believe NightMare saw, or at least caught a little bit of a glimpse of that Immortal. And, you know, he's backing away. He knows that there's no way he can fight that without a heck of a lot more stalkers, and even then, it's a little tricky.
I know that he was.
I'm actually
He was pushed away by the Adepts. I actually don't know if he saw the Immortal. The Warp Prism is going to be going in, and the Stalkers, they're not in position. They're out here at the ramp. So yeah, he goes in.
Yeah, the Pylon will definitely see it, but is it going to be too late? 4 Stalkers should be able to deal with an Immortal, but it also depends on things like, Micro, right? How well is Patience going to be able to juggle his units? There are Adepts there to act as a bit of a buffer. And Patience is just getting stronger and stronger here with his army.
Yeah, we do see a second Immortal just popping out, so it is on the way. It's going to be joining the rest of the army. Meanwhile, NightMare does have a pylon across the map, so if he wants to, there we go. He did warp into Adepts, but there is a full wall in the main of Patience.
Patience was not planning on getting anything out of his main that wasn't already out of his main.
Oh god, exactly. And we do see a couple of shield batteries are being thrown down for NightMare, also walling off completely, but he will lose this gateway. Ooh.
He will lose at least one of them. These Stalkers cannot get into range of that Warp Prism without getting assaulted by the Immortals. Really interesting force fields for Patience, yeah. Yeah,
they were beautiful, to be honest. It did take 3 force fields to make that happen, but he also gets force fielded out.
Yeah, thankfully he does have that Warp Prism. He will be able to just elevator units in and out, but, he doesn't really want to risk this. There are a lot of Stalkers here, plenty of anti-air. Doesn't want to just lose, 50 supply. That's a bit of hyperbole, but lose a bunch of supply in just the blink of an eye or the blink of a Stalker.
Definitely. What's important is that NightMare, he did just warp in another sentry, so he has enough energy for one more force field if he so chooses, but he backs off.
But he's being pulled away.
Oh.
The Adept's doing such a good job of keeping NightMare's focus. And Patience, this is looking a little bit too much for NightMare. Battery overcharge going to be immediately taken out.
Exactly, and now there are 0 shield batteries left. Everything goes down. GG gets called.
Patience taking game number 1. My god. This looked pretty dominant here. To be fair, it was a proxy that NightMare didn't scout, but man, once Patience got into the zone, it looked so hopeless for NightMare.
Yeah, it's like, to be fair, NightMare knew there was something out there. Like, he was scouting all over the place, but it was just a little bit unlucky, He just barely couldn't find it. Again, props to Patience on that awkward proxy location. He knew that it was very unlikely or very likely that it would go unscouted, and it worked out beautifully for him.
Indeed it did. You can definitely tell that he's been analyzing this map, looking at what are the best places he can sort of position his proxies.
I feel like
and it worked out for him.
I feel like analyzing is a strong word for Patience. I don't know.
he intuited, or maybe not even intuited. He had a dream.
he had a fever dream. It's like, the proxy. He was getting proxies from that location actually, and it just. No, Mono, no.
He had a nightmare.
He did.
And now he's making nightmare experiences.
He had a nightmare. Oh god.
But you know what? Now he's getting revenge on NightMare.
He is. Patience is like, this is what you get, and NightMare's like, I didn't do anything.
You beat me last week. Patience is like, we'll see. But as we contemplate that story, we continue things off here on Def Aura LE. Here in the top left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way to the top left-hand corner of the map. The Enigma himself. He is coming down from the land of Jeju Island, currently residing in Seoul, representing Good Game Gaming. GGG. He looked so dominant in the game number 1. Can he keep this up? He is. Patience.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of, oh my god, of Death Aura LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player already down 0-1 in this best of 3, currently getting cannon rushed. We have, representing Team NV, it is NightMare.
I'm so glad we prioritize Patience Light.
Oh, yeah, mate, I know. When I see that bracket, I know where we need to go, and this is... We're here, mate. We're here.
This is why you saw so clearly the potential of the PvP with Patience. You had to go for it.
We had to be here, and immediately I love this response. Funada, exclamation mark Funada, Paco Mike, because this is how you deal with a cannon rush as a Protoss. You throw down your own forge.
Yeah, you want to get a forge of your own. It's a lot more sturdy, or reliable, should I say, than even a stalker or a zealot. And it'll take way too long to get a stalker out anyway. You know,
exactly.
Getting a cyber core, it's gonna take a while.
And the problem is,
of course, there's no guarantee it won't get taken out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there is a pylon already in the main base. Cannons are being thrown down by Patience, but this zealot is doing a lot of work here, trying to deny them from going up.
Takes out one of the probes already, and that is honestly pretty huge.
Ooh, that it is. Meanwhile,
we have to be so careful with this micro.
Yeah, nice. Another cannon was denied. Meanwhile, there is a cannon of NightMare that's about to finish up here in the main natural line, and that should be able to deal with any kind of aggression here in his main.
Yeah, it's going to be so much tougher for Patience to inch his way further in because of that cannon. Again, it only takes, what, 2 shots to take out a probe, which is why Patience just goes around it.
Oh, but he gets spotted. Yeah, he was trying to be sneaky, but especially with this zealot, there it is. He's forced to cancel his pylon, and the cannon rush has ended.
It really has. And NightMare, he's looking so safe. I really don't see Patience continuing this, so he's gonna have to transition. But at the very least, Patience should be able to transition a little quicker, I'm hoping. Yeah, he's already getting his natural.
Yeah, we'll see what Patience has in store for us, because he's going for a double gate opening. Now the cyber core is being turned down to try and catch up in terms of the production, because, you know, he is a little bit delayed. Thankfully, like, Patience does have a cannon here, so again, it will take a little bit of time before NightMare can expand.
He brought another probe?
I don't know why. It's like, it's not really doing anything.
Gonna take that. It's going in.
Oh.
Okay. He doesn't YOLO it.
God damn.
Just to get him a little bit of high ground vision.
Go home.
See what he can get done.
Oh my God. What is he just gonna throw down proxy. Like a? Is he gonna proxy gate?
Gonna proxy, yeah. He's gonna proxy a Dark Shrine, I'm hoping.
Oh my God.
He might not, but.
Oh boy, we'll see. I mean, regardless, you can throw down a pylon here. We'll see if he makes use of it, as, again, this is scary. In a PvP, you can't be too greedy. We talk about it all the time. Like, if you go for an expansion too quickly, like, you can just fall to your opponents. And we do see NightMare is taking up as fast as possible off of one gate, going straight into that Twilight Council.
Yeah, which he definitely can afford to do so. But I just look over on the other side of the map over here, Light, and I mean, Patience already working on his own robo facility. Still super curious as to what that probe is going to do. Is it going to go back?
I guess he's going to confirm.
Is he going to try to scout?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I guess try and scout a little bit. We do see Blinkers on the way, so NightMare will be prioritizing Blink Stalkers here as his main, you know, army composition. Meanwhile, Patience, he's foregoing that Blink and instead focusing on his Immortals.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, Light, but ever since last week, we sort of noticed Patience. He's like getting Blink a lot less.
Yeah,
surprisingly, ooh.
It's not really his style nowadays. He does do it, but I mean, we do see he's prioritizing more Immortals in both Game 1 and Game 2, already denying a lot of mining time here.
Yeah, I guess he has sort of realized, you know, my Blinks aren't the most reliable, so I'm going to go with something that, you know, has a bit more of a... I'm trying to think of another word for reliable here, Light. It's not coming to me.
Consistency?
Some other form of a baseline. Yeah, a bit more of a consistent sort of baseline of damage.
There you go. And we'll see if that works, because NightMare is looking to be very aggressive, throwing down this proxy gateway across the map. Ooh, but it does get scattered by the Haluk.
Nicely done by Patience. So, we are going to go into what is about as normal a PvP as we can get.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Patience already taking out a decent chunk of the army here for NightMare. He wants to go for the counterattack. He knows that Patience is ahead. But looks like he's just going to be shut down. I mean, that was what, 30% of NightMare's army just immediately taken out of commission?
Yeah, that was 2 Stalkers immediately gone down. A pylon went down as well. Thankfully, NightMare had a probe out on the map, so he's going to attempt to repower that gateway. Meanwhile, he does have Blink.
He does. One false move here from Patience, and that Warp Prism is going to go down. All the maneuverability of his army will go down with it.
Oh,
and he might get backed into a corner, but 2 Immortals, this is what NightMare absolutely has to respect.
Definitely. And with that, NightMare does back off. The gateway once again was depowered. Not just depowered, but it does go down.
And now NightMare's trying to circle around, go into the natural base, and there's not too much here to defend it. There are some shield batteries, though. And another Immortal cuts out. Oh, man. I really thought Patience was going to be able to pull something big here, but it's not looking too good for him.
Yeah, like NightMare, he was completely denied here in the natural, forced to recall because, again, the army of Patience didn't go home. He had plenty to defend across the map, so now it's his turn to be aggressive. Oh, we do see NightMare has a decent Stalker count. He has to be so careful not to be caught out again, though.
Yeah, honestly, again, with the right blink and the wrong position here from Patience, NightMare should be able to shut this down, potentially. But it's just 2 Immortals, like, 2 Immortals, God. And not just that, now there are 3 Immortals and potential Guardian Shield from these sentries.
Oh, yeah.
How do you take that out with pure Stalkers?
I mean, Overcharge is definitely going to help. He has to be careful not to stray too far away from it and utilize it in this fight.
But Patience just waiting that out.
Exactly.
Which, to be fair, will give NightMare time to get a couple more Warp-ins. He's working on Charge now, which is definitely very useful upgrade to have. Zealots do deal very well against Immortals, but I feel like it's too late.
Yeah, the Immortals are just powering on through. There are 2 shield batteries on the way, but you know what? They're not even going to finish up at this point as the Stalkers are going down, and Patience, he's just pushing on into the natural.
Yeah, if NightMare had just another minute to his name, this could be a little bit different, but here we have it. GG, Patience maintaining a streak against NightMare. G to the G.
GG.
W to the P.
Patience, as you said, showing his dominance in this matchup, and honestly, that's all he needs today. Like, you
really is.
You just need to be good at PvP, and then you can go far. You can be a champion.
Exactly. He can. It's very, very likely, actually, Patience makes it to the semifinals here.
Oh my god. Exactly as he does.
Who's gonna take him out? Nice. Okay, Nice could have a chance against Patience. I will say
he's a good player, but Nice, I would go as far as to say he's more known for his PvZ.
Definitely.
Like PvP, he like the thing is that anyone could win.
Really is.